So function composition is something very simple. Function composition. The first question that comes to your mind when you hear the word function composition is first question that will come to your mind is what is a function composition? Well, a function composition is when instead of using a number or a variable in your argument of the function, by argument I mean this, f of x, f is the function or the map itself, and x is your argument or the input, whatever you want to call it. So instead of using a number in the input, you use another function, and that's when it becomes a function composition. So you have one function, let's say f of x, and the other function as g of x. Then the function composition is something you can write as f of g. You know, people can use this notation, and what this means is that you use g of x as the argument of f of x. So instead of x in the argument of f, you now use g of x. Okay, how does this work? Let's see an example. Let's say my f of x is x plus 2, and my g of x is x squared plus 2. Now I want to find out f of g. This is read off as f of g. That means I'm using g of x as my argument for the function f. So notice what g of x is. It's x squared plus 2, okay? But let me just break it down so that you can understand. So instead of x right now, you're gonna use g of x. So you write g of x plus 2. But what is g of x? It's x squared plus 2. So this is x squared plus 2, which is x squared plus 4. So this is your f of g. Now you can do the converse as well. You can try to compose it like this, g of f. That means instead of x, now you use f of x as the argument of g. And as you can see, g of x was x squared plus 2. So now here you'll have f of x whole square plus 2. And f of x was what? F of x was x plus 2 whole squared. I mean, sorry, just x plus 2. So you do x plus 2 whole square plus 2. This is x squared plus 4 plus 2 plus 2, sorry, 4x. So this is x squared plus 4x plus 6. And this is your function composition g of f. Now, people can also ask you to now people can also ask you to evaluate. People can also ask you to evaluate something like g of f of 2. What does this mean? This just means you first do g of f, well, what I did over here, and then you just put the value 2 instead of x. So you already have g of f is x squared plus 4x plus 6. So now if you put x equals to 2, this will be 2 squared plus 4 times 2 plus 6, which is 4, 8, 6, and this is 18, and so on. So all the operations involving functions are like this. You are asked to put in something, you just put it in, and then do the algebra. That's all you need to do. All right, so let's see what we talked about so far. Let's go to over here. So we defined mappings. We talked about ordered pairs, talked about relations, functions, and operations of functions. And yes, there are a few things that I want to do right now. I think I forgot them. Like I showed you some advanced operation, but not the basic ones. So again, by operations, I mean you can do a scalar multiplication with a function. where a is a scalar, or that means a real number. So if you have a equals to 2, f of x equals to x plus 2, and you want to write a of f of x, this is just 2 times x plus 2, or 2x plus 4. You can multiply functions like this. Let's say again f of x is x plus 1. Let's say this is x plus 1. This is x plus 2. Then you can just write x plus 1 plus x plus 1 times x plus 2. And you can multiply it to write it like this. You can add them, a of f of x, b of g of x. So again, let's say fx is this and gx is this. So this is a times x plus 1, b times x plus 2. You can divide one function by another to gain some fractions depending on what type of things you're doing. So again, this will be something like this, and so on. So all the basic things that you can do with numbers, you can do with functions as well, because when you take you also get a number back for that input. So when you take an input, you also get a like a specific input, like a real number. You'll also get a real number back. So that gives you the idea of what is really going on over here. Like all the things that you can do with numbers, you can almost do everything with functions as well. These are some of the properties and operations. So for a pre-calculus course, my recommendation is do what comes naturally. That's how I like to think. I think it will differ from person to person. So these are some operations and the stuffs that we do with functions. We're gonna need this when we study calculus and stuffs. And in the next video, I'll I'll end it today because I think it's already very long. And in the next video, I want to talk about domains and range. I think that's very crucial, and that's where people get stuck most of the time. So we'll end it here. And if you have any questions, you can let me know down in the comment box. And if you think this is helpful, do consider subscribing. That helps us to go a long way. Thank you.